know I told you it was kind of a one-man show, but I kind of didn't really totally tell the truth, so. Which probably shouldn't do in church, right? But listen, I couldn't leave my whole band home, so I brought my right-hand man. He plays bass in our band. He's multi-talented instrumentalist, so he's going to be kind of hopping on stage and singing with me and stuff like that. His name's David Childress, but we call him Chili. So would you all welcome Chili? You got to see me and Chili on that video. Thank you so much for paying such close attention to that video. That video just gives you a little glimpse inside of a mission trip that really rocked my world. In fact, how many of you here have ever been on a mission trip before? Yeah? For those of you who have, you can understand what I'm saying when I say it. You go on this mission trip thinking that you're going to go help people and minister to people, and then, like, God totally does a full circle miracle and winds up changing your life through that experience. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I'm thankful that Compassion International let me and my man go to Haiti. But a little bit of a background. I'm going to ask you one more question. How many of you guys love going to Christian conferences like this? Yeah. But you normally got to go to another city, don't you? So who loves you? Who loves you, bro? So guess what? I love going to Christian conferences too. And so, man, I believe tonight could be more than a concert. I've said that before. And the reason I believe it is because growing up, concerts like this Thursday night here tonight, concerts like this were more than concerts for me. God used them to speak to my life as a young kid in a powerful way. See, I'm a preacher's kid, and I'm still in recovery. But I'm thankful for a mom and dad who were so awesome. They knew that their sons needed more than just a Sunday night church service to find out what it's like to have a personal, everyday relationship with Jesus Christ. And so my parents would take me to see Christian music concerts all the time. Groups like DC Talk, I got to see them, and those concerts were so amazing. Now, listen, check this out. One of the things that almost every single artist did that I got to see in concert is they would stop, like, right in the middle of their concert and say, hey, enough about my music for a minute. I want to tell you about a cause close to my heart, and I want to tell you about a way that our concert tonight can have a global impact. And then they would speak about Compassion International. And I remember as a kid thinking that was so cool. Because it was Toby Mac, right? Toby Mac. Like, how is there anyone cooler than Toby Mac? Woo! I just think the thing we do with Toby Mac on the West Coast. He's got all these moves, you know? Like, he's always doing it. Sometimes, like, holding his arm. I'm like, I remember one time I was going to try that at a show. I was like doing that, and I saw the lady in like the second row, like, talking about him. He's really on me. I realized I'm not cool. I didn't hurt my arm. But I thought that was amazing that these artists would stop their concerts and say, hey, man, I don't care if you buy my CD or not, but I do care about these children that need our help. But guess how many times I responded when they would ask me in the audience to sponsor a child? 0. Why? Well, because I was a cynical preacher's kid. I was a cynical preacher's kid who, when the artist would say, hey, it's just a few bucks every month, it's like a few less cups of coffee, and you can change the life of a child. They would say something like that. Well, my cynical preacher's kid response was, yeah, right. A few dollars a month, I can't even get the baseball cards I want. That's what I used to think as a kid. How's it going to change a kid's life? And so I would say no. And then they would say things like, if you sponsor a child, you can actually write letters to the child's sponsor. And they'll write you back, and you can follow up on their progress. Well, my cynical preacher's kid response was, yeah, right. Like, really? My letter's going to magically, were they going to put it on a boat, it's going to make it all the way to this other country? I'm just being honest. Those are the thoughts I would think. And so I was like, man, that's really cool that he's talking about that, but that's not for me. Somebody else can do that. And so I never sponsored a child. Well, fast forward, I'm all grown up, my songs are on Christian radio station, and I'm doing concerts like this, and guess who called me on the phone? Compassion International. But they said, we really just want you to like run over the world and do something. And we can tell you, would you consider taking a moment out of your concert to speak on behalf of the needs of these children who really need our help? That, like, I got so convicted at that phone call because I thought, to myself, the lyrics of my own song smack me right in the face. What if there's a bigger picture? What if I've been making that out all the time? What if there's a greater purpose, a greater outside of my own little world? What if my concert could be more than just a concert? What if I could help inspire people to realize that there is a very easy and tangible way that we can help the world? What if? And so that what if question led me and Chili and some of the other guys to Haiti. And I'm glad you got to watch that video because I got to meet the little boy that I sponsored. And I wanted you to see his face, and I like to see it every night, so it's kind of selfish that I show you that video because I remember that little boy. And I remember two defining moments that chipped away at the cynical preacher's kid facade that I had. That chipped away and put it away for good. The first defining moment was walking inside their home. The little boy that I sponsored, the little mom. Their home wasn't a home, it was a shack made up of donated materials. I remember asking the little boy, Geraldton's mom, where does your son sleep? And she pointed to the corner of the shack. And it was a little section covered by a blanket. She said, that's where both of my sons sleep at night. It wasn't big enough for two children, not two growing boys. And so I felt the blanket, expecting to feel a mattress like we would sleep on. But it felt hard. And so I didn't want to embarrass them. I didn't want to the blanket and see what the bed consisted of. It was old crumbled cinder blocks with some dirty rags bundled up for a little bit of cushion. And in that moment, there was no cynical preacher's kid in me. Instead, it was, that's not good enough for this child. And all of a sudden, it kind of scared me how I instantly cared for the well-being of this child I'd never met before. And the second defining moment that did away with my cynical preacher's kid was when they drove us one day. It was like 3 hours out to this village where literally I thought they were just going to leave me for dead. I'm like, I got to go. I've done my last concert. Sorry, bro, I can't make it. I'm out of Haiti doing an SOS. Hope somebody rescues me. We show up at this village, and I meet a 17-year-old boy who comes out to say hi to us because he heard Compassion International was visiting. And I found out this 17-year-old boy had sponsored since he was 10 by a family in the U.S. And so I asked him through the translator, I asked him if he ever got a letter from that family that sponsored him. The boy turned around and walked away, and I thought, oh, okay, well, you can't let them all. It's a nice sentiment, but it must not be real. 5 minutes later, he comes back, running back to me with a handful of letters. Every single letter that family had sent to him, he kept them every year. And he said, these letters tell me that God picked me and that God loves me. And if you don't clap for that, then I don't know. So listen, we came back, not just me, but my band and I, we came back with a fire. With a fire. And some of us came back with a stomach bug, but that's another story. I told them, don't eat the goat. They ate the goat and they got sick. And we came back with a fire to name our country. The thought of what if in Grove, Oklahoma, what happens to them, what impact, and someday in heaven we find out how us stepping out of our own little world and doing something about it changed somebody's life and somebody's family. To date, we've already seen over 3,000 children get sponsored from causes like this. Over 3,000. That's amazing. It's not just my band and our cause, it's my whole family's cause, the West family. My daughters and I have really compassion is a way that we can teach our kids about hurting in the lost world. Matter of fact, my children, almost they were able to talk. They would say to me, Daddy, we heard about this national place called Grove. Daddy, we speak names that time. And I said, children, your dreams are about to come true. So the whole West family is here tonight. Would you like to come out here? Hi, Lulu. How old are you? 8. Lulu's 8. Who's your favorite singer? Lulu's also just getting grounded. What's your name, pretty girl? Hi, Lulu. How old are you? 5.
Hi. Who's your favorite singer?
Oh, yeah.
You are? Maybe for you, my wife. I still can't believe it. We celebrated 10 years of marriage. You might be wondering, are these people the worst parents in the world? Are they missing school? Don't these kids need to be in school? Well, the Lord's really worked in our family over the last couple of years. We've prayed about it, and my wife came to me and said, I think we're supposed to be together as a family, doing ministry together. So I think we should try to homeschool. We should try to homeschool, and that's why so they did their schoolwork on the bus this morning. We have violin lessons. We got all stuff going on. But tonight, this is their favorite part of the night because they get to join in and be part of this cause of Compassion International. And tonight, we're going to give you an opportunity to join us. Maybe you're here with your family, your youth group, and maybe this is something where you heard about sponsoring a child, but for one reason or another, maybe you had a response like me back in the day, and you never chose to do it. Maybe you already sponsored a child and want to add a child to your family and sponsor another one. Whatever reason you would have for sponsoring a certain child is a great reason, because I can personally attest to the fact that it will change that child's future, and it will change that child's life and his family as well. And so my girls can get it, man. They're actually having a competition to see who gets the hand out more baskets every night. And the proof that my youngest daughter was getting it was what my wife told me. They were cleaning the house at our home in Nashville, and my daughter looked at it, and we have a guest bedroom, so the in-laws come or whatever. And Delaney said, "Hey Mom, you know that little boy was sponsored?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Well, you could just say you." And my wife had to say, "Well, you have a whole family, honey." And she looked back at the room and she said, "Well, it's a big bed." She's gifted. Like, she's gifted. She's thinking about that little boy and she wants better for him. We want better for these children, and we know you do too. So we spent the first half hour together singing about God's love and His grace. And now God calls us to turn around and extend that same message of love and grace to the world. Amen? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you 3 minutes to respond. We're going to sing a new song you can hear on the radio called Do Something. You know what I'm talking about? As we sing this song, the rest girls are going to go out into the audience. And if they see you raise your hand to say yes to sponsor a child, they've been instructed to throw a packet at your head. And each packet is a picture of a child. Every single child needs your help. They're from all different countries, all different ages, but they have one thing in common, and that is they didn't ask to be born into the circumstances that they've been born in. And God uses us to help them, big and small. And so we're going to sing this song. God bless you guys. Thank you for listening to my heart on this. And thanks to the West Girls for helping. We're going to do something tonight. Amen. This morning, so when trouble now, I've never so far down, I've never turned around, so I turn my eyes. God knows you do something, but I can't stop how he is going to the thought he does me, so I